Semi-final number 2. We're in the winner bracket of the Banshee Cup. Banshee Cup number 5, qualifier number 5. Of course, we are slowly and steadily getting towards the playoffs, and the teams are still trying to gather a few points by participating in the qualifiers here. Since we are using a stepladder system in the next phase of the tournament, the higher you are in the ranking, the less matches you have to play, and of course, all of these teams want to participate and fight for the $2,500 of prize money. At this point, once again, a big shout out to Psychiv, to Kevin, who's been sponsoring this event. He is the one that made also the offline events possible that we had in the last 2 years. Specifically talking here about the Nations Cup in Berlin, obviously, which was just absolutely fantastic. So he is massively supporting the scene. Big shout out to him. And yeah, very, very much appreciated. So the game would be a lot more dead than it is without him. So yeah, the man has certainly a lot of love for heroes. As we are heading into Towers of Doom in our first map, also, again, a quick note, I talked about this in another video already, we actually created a second YouTube channel for Stormgate. It's the new esports RTS, basically imagine Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2 having a baby. So if you want to check it out a little bit more, we created the second channel. The link to the channel is in the description. Would be awesome if you could sub to the channel. We're currently trying to hit the 1,000 subs over there, so if you haven't done it yet, just go to the channel and sub in on it. I'm starting to release a couple of videos for this, just going over some basics, so you can also have a bit of an idea of if it's a game for you. But once that the game is publicly accessible, we are going to do also tournaments for Stormgate and do a lot of casts over there. So again, me personally, obviously coming from an esports and RTS background, 8 years of Warcraft 3 casting, all back when, and then a couple of years in Korea with StarCraft 2 and even afterwards, and then switching to heroes. It's a little bit of a back to the roots move for me with RTS, and I'm super excited for it. So again, link is in the description of the second channel. Make sure that you check it out. But for now, of course, heroes with Towers of Doom being our first map in this best of 3. And with Garrosh and Genji locked in on the last rotation, we're now looking at the final 2 picks for the Cats. Should be a pretty cool series, honestly. These 2 teams have been pretty close most of the time. Shimada brothers, both of them. So Genji plus Hanzo, and we get Ana. Maybe even a nano boosted Dragon Blade could be what we're getting here. And Gavlo as our final pick. He's been playing a lot of Tracer for the blue team, and I assume at some point in this series he is going to pick her up. Not so sure about the move on Towers of Doom though. Tracer is banned for that reason, so they knew that Gavlo was locking that in a lot for the Raiders. But instead we're getting Maiev, so that dangerous frontline again. Towers of Doom, our first map. The Raiders going up against the Cats. Let's go, map number 1. Game number 1, the Raiders against the Cats, and on the left, the blue team with Sven on Dehaka, Crankle on Jojo, Hunter Hawk on Brightwing. We got Nano on Junkrat, and Gavlo threatening the front line with Maiev once more. His Tracer was denied to him. Banned out by the opponent, but we have Maiev in the house. On the right side, the Cats with Captain Rex on Genji. We get Soaking with Blaze, Deviant on Ana. Herath is rocking Hanzo, and we got Johan on Garrosh. So let the games begin. Game number 1, and it's time to party. Who is taking the lead? This could be a pretty crazy back and forth, honestly, knowing the 2 teams. We've had the Raiders with just a crushing performance in their previous series. I would still give them a bit of an advantage over the Cats here, but who knows, maybe they're going to be taken out this time. Depends a bit also on how Maiev can play this one out, and well, as I say it is Garrosh that is in real trouble here, and Johan is dead. He's dead. That is first blood right here, right now. And the team takes the lead. Even tried to go for a second kill, but Hanzo was able to move out, Brightwing a moment too late, and as I say it, he gets tethered and killed. Spray game, well, it was kind on point, and then he got punished for it. And you know what? We're actually taking another look at it just simply because he sprayed them and then he died. So you can see him just like, we moved down, then he sprayed, and then he got killed. That's so easy kill. And goodbye, Hanzo. Yeah, that's obviously the problem when you're starting to be a little bit cheeky and in the face of your opponent. Stuff like that can happen, and yeah, then you're just getting crushed. So Crankle, really nice flip, and I suppose this is going to be the end of Jojo. Yes, there's just too many heroes here. Now the good news is that they still stole the camp. They stole the camp, they escorted the pumpkins through too. I still call worth over here. I still say it's worth it. They did decent damage on it. That's maybe a little bit of an overkill, but damn, can they get... Nah, they can't get Genji here. But they got close. They got close for a moment. Again, setting things up with a sleep dart, of course, as they're trying to make some moves. Hunter, oh, okay. Brightwing is gone and level 4 is in, as both teams have 2 kills, so we are exactly in that back and forth situation that I alluded to earlier. The 2 teams making their moves and starting to take some heroes down, push for structures. Maybe a slight advantage for the Raiders because they did a bit more structural damage, but honestly it's quite negligible. We have Sven rotating towards the top. It's just a rotation mid-top that we are seeing consistently between Blaze and Dehaka. And as Johan is just flipping heroes around, Brightwing is able to jump back in. But this could be a wild one. Could honestly be a super interesting one. It depends really heavily on how Gavlo is going to be able to perform with Maiev. She's always a huge linchpin. A good Maiev player is just winning games. And we could see that especially with Ultralisk whenever he performs on the hero. But there's obviously others that can also play a pretty mean Maiev, and Gavlo is at times one of them. So 2 kills to 2. First objective is up, and let's not forget also that we are on the comeback map in the hero pool. So this is exactly the map where you can always make a comeback in the late game. For now, it's just an altar channel at the top right. Maiev is a bit late, honestly, at the top left and might get interrupted there. Genji is trying to do exactly that now, and yep, that's the problem when you arrive too late to the altar. So, not only when you arrive too late to the altar, and you make the bride pretty mad too. But Captain Rex now sliding away here because there's some assistance. He's still interrupting. That means at the bottom of the map we are fighting in 3 versus 3. That doesn't really happen all that often. Normally it's an even exchange at the top left and right at roughly the same time, but with the timing just working out a bit better in favor of the cats, they can now start continue interrupting it. I think he's gonna overtake it slowly, and with that now Garrosh is gone, and that means that they're going to grab this one down here too. So yeah, at the top the fight continues, but I assume not for too much longer, specifically since Genji is now starting to get killed. And damn, that range! Damn, that is 2 more kills for the blue team, and they get 2 out of the 3 altars, and are now attempting to steal the pumpkins away from the red team. So yeah, some pretty sweet moves over here. They're doing their thing. And yep, not looking too bad. So, as is, we have 4 kills to 2. We have Johan starting to try and control the front line again. He's been punished a little bit throughout the game. I think he died twice now already, and they're focusing on him to make it 3, and they might be able to pull that off. Yep, Johan's gone. And it's getting a little bit dicey, specifically since they're now going for Captain Rex, trying to take him out. Deviant also low, and it's Ana that falls. Okay, the blue team really walking away with a bit of an advantage and momentum here. Yeah, another hit keeps coming. 36, and well, they still haven't taken this. They're still slowing that down. I mean, every single time that you do that, you're obviously getting the game a bit closer to level 10. I wonder, sometimes I really wonder if the teams actually notice it, or if somebody is like, oh yeah, wait, we forgot about that. But no, in this case, Dehaka, he knows what's up. Obviously, they didn't forget. They waited there for level 10. But it's just like stalling this out is still quite interesting, with Soaking now still interrupting it. They have to send some heroes down to the bottom of the map so that they can at least save that bell tower here. That's the next problem, because those pumpkins would surely take it out, and they have to stop them, which is exactly what they're doing. And since Maiev is now zoning at the top, they finally were able to get that second altar. The disc is out. They obviously attempt to force a fight here, since they are the ones having heroic abilities already. The opponent doesn't, so they go for Soaking, but Johan is lifting from the knees and flips him back out of the fight. So they got the bell tower after all, so it's 5-3. I guess the initial idea was to try and get it and then take the channel at the top, which didn't quite work for them. But now level 10 on both sides. That early heroic ability gave them a little bit more freedom and wiggle room. And now we have the next attack coming in, as they are still zoning them as best as they can. Get the trap down there, a couple of grenades into play. The level of control for the Raiders is definitely good. But yeah, we'll see if they can do a bit more here. Crankle, Hunter Orc, they're all starting to move back down here. And they are going for Heroes, but, well, can they take this one? Yeah, there's a blessed shield, and put it in. Ah, they missed the trap, but they still get the kill. It would have been so cool if they actually lined it up perfectly and then got the kill behind it, but they couldn't. Now they're also going for Ana, who apparently all read, like, did she B-step? Like, what happened there? Did Ana get locked down? Like, did I miss something? Was she trapped? Or did she just simply succumb to her fate after that? There's Jojo with a slow and a condemn. I mean, either way, she's gone, so that's another double kill. That's 8 kills to 3. They're 1 level ahead now. The camp still claimed by the red team as they're attempting to bring the bell tower back. But just the overall level of control is so much better for the Raiders now. We have 15,000 damage from Junkrat. In addition to it, we also have 25,000 for Hanzo. And there's the arrow. Ah, can they get Nano? They cannot. They can't get Nano. They got close though. The channel is probably going to be too late. Yep, bell tower is taken. So Brightwing would have loved to get that channel in time, but it's only 4 shots fired. That's the only thing that they can get out of it. Still, they're pulling ahead. They have also level 13 talents. 17,000 damage for Junkrat. Hanzo is just outclassing that on all levels. He's nearly 10,000 ahead, but that doesn't help them if they don't get the kills. And talking about kills, Ana again with the pew pew pew. As she goes once more for Eye of Horus here. Trying to snipe Gavlo, and they get him with Hanzo. Yeah, Hanzo gets the snipe. Rest of the team gets over there, but yeah, that's supposed to be a next kill. And it's Garrosh got. Whoa, they're getting the Haka after all. So that's a kill for a kill. As Genji jumps out. The big problem that the red team has is simply that at the bottom of the map, Junkrat is now having all the space and time in the world to retake the bell tower, and he is going to pull that one off. So they just took it back, and now they're losing it again. And bot lane control is obviously one of the most important things here. Then again, Nano might die for it. He's very like... No fucking way! No way! Did that really just happen? Genji just outplayed himself. He zipped into the trap, and then Nano took the free kill. And oh no! Just no! Check it out. Look at this. Trap is there. Genji zip. Nano just kills him. So damn good. Yeah, Genji didn't see that coming. So not only did they lose the bell tower, they also lost Genji. Now they might lose even more. Bunker had to be used. Garrosh is in trouble. He gets saved. Blaze, I suppose, is making it out. Yeah, but they're all running. It's a double altar that we now have. And it's pretty crazy. I mean, the Shimada brothers are just not having the impact here that they're used to. At the top? What are they doing here? Alright, just rushing back. 5 shots are already fired. That's 23 points on the core. They're getting another 5 from the bottom of the map now in a moment. And Sven, in the meantime, is connecting the stun and is trying to make a move. So Johan gets out. Maybe, maybe not. Oh! The 5 shots are getting fired, but at least they didn't lose anybody else. So they're doubling the opponent's core score now, with Pumpkins potentially getting a few more shots connected. But level 16 is also a huge concern now for the Cats, as the Raiders are looking for more kills, are looking to connect them. All 3 shots go in. That's 15 points on the core, and it's just getting more and more troublesome for the red team. They're definitely in trouble at this point. They're kind of struggling to get control back, and it's just bonkers how well the blue team coordinates these things and controls the map now. Particularly that bot lane control is obviously a huge issue. They're trying for the Haka at the top and ganking up on him. Might even be successful. Sven gets stunned. Brightwing needs to assist, but I suppose he's still able to get out here. Brightwing, on the other hand, has to come in with the Poli. But there's the Blessed Shield. There's a follow-up. They might even get Hanzo. He gets saved, but they're going straight up for Blaze again. Arrow is out. Boss even activated. And boy, it's not looking good for the red team. They lost the boss. They lost the Blaze. They are losing Garrosh. And now they're probably going to lose the boss too. Because if you're already here and it's already like lost a couple of hit points, and why not finish a job, right? 16 talents are ready for the cats, but that's too little too late. Bottom of the map gets attacked too. 4 more shots are getting fired. They're stopping at least the pumpkins from connecting. But since the next set of altars is activated in 10 more seconds, we're talking about potentially even 10 points. And if that happens, then it's only 1 point on the core for the cats. Either way, they're going to get dropped down into the single digits now. And that in and of itself is already a bit of a disaster. So Sven is taking the 5 shots. That's dropping them down to 6. And then the only question that remains is what happens here at the top right. Are they able to claim this, yes or no? Hanzo is going to interrupt as best as he can, but every time they have to move in like this, they become once more the target. Blaze moving away. Garrosh trying to channel. And I suppose they're going to let that one slide. Yes, so it's 3 shots fired, nothing that they can't deal with. But yeah, traps everywhere, playing around the bushes. 12 kills to 5 now, and that lead in experience is of course still a concern. And with 6 points on the core, I mean, you are talking about pumpkins becoming a problem. 2 more camps and it's lights out. 1 camp and an altar, same thing. And bot lane control was always one of the most important things on this map, because A, you have the 2 pumpkin camps traveling through it, but in addition to that, if an altar spawns at the bot lane, then access to it is also so much more difficult for the red team, so they have to try and bring this back eventually. But right now, they are pinned down. They're absolutely pinned down, and Junkrat is just sending out this endless barrage of grenades. At least the pumpkins were defeated, but it allowed the Haka to move into the middle of the map, get a bit more experience for them, rotate back towards the top, and they are aiming for an early level 20. And the more the Haka gets done here, the better for them. So, yeah. Things are looking pretty good. Let's just put it like that. We have now 12 to 5 kills. And yeah, Mayev's still sitting tight here in the middle. When it comes to the damage output, Hanzo still puts good numbers up, but Junkrat with 31,000 has been way more successful in actually killing heroes. So the entire team chipping in here. And now with the double altar up, yeah, either way you are suffering. You're losing at least 1. If you can win 2, great, but you're losing at least 1, and they're trying to now tee up that camp so that there's multiple fronts on the map that have to be covered by the cats. They have to now cover at least 2 of the altars, and they also have to make sure that the pumpkins are not killing anything. So yeah, 1 altar I think is going to be easy for them. But Brightwing is going already for the one at the bottom of the map. The pumpkins are slowly making it through. The Haka could come in and help out. The exchange in shots is happening. 30 against 1. And it is just disastrous for the cats. The camp at the bottom of the map, somebody will have to deal with it. Hanzo is making the way over, but he's missing in the fight, therefore, as a result. They are in dire straits here. It's a 2-pronged attack, and it's essentially checkmate. Brightwing already with the channel. They gotta go deep for it. They're getting stopped right here. The attack is coming. Hanzo is stopping it at the bottom, but the channel is started up again, and this time Garrosh is low. Soaking is doing his best. Captain Rax is about to die, barely able to get out of the fight there for just a moment. Has to X-strike over and finds himself still in a trap. The grenades are coming, and he is down. If they can't get a counter kill right here, right now, then this is game. And it's not looking good for them. Not in the slightest. They're losing too many hit points and too many heroes. Gavlo, to be fair, is also low, but it's Blaze that falls. The Haka dies too. They're going for Garrosh, and this just has to be it. Only 2 heroes survive, Anna and Hanzo, and the 2 of them are not looking too hot either. So this is likely going to be game, as Huntdog is already moving in for it. Anna is down, that only leaves Hanzo. Gavlo is just like sniffing this out. 1 interrupt is happening. There's the disc, and that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. That is game. The Raiders, they take the lead in the best of 3 series here at the winner bracket semi-final of qualifier number 5 of the Banshee Cup. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 2. I gotta say, in this 5th qualifier, Battlefield of Eternity seems to appear quite a lot more than in other tournaments that we had so far in the context of the Banshee Cup. Not that the map never gets played, but I think this is now the 3rd time or the 4th time even today in the 4th series that we're getting it. And why do these people hate fun? Vikings get banned on the first map, now they're banning Cho'Gall. I mean, come on boys. You can't just do that to us. That's just absolutely not okay here. Just wow. I don't even know what to say. This is not that wow. Just like yellow card, yellow card. Okay, gets banned. But again, BOE. So are we gonna get some interesting what do we still have? I mean, Hanzo is now off limits, so he cannot be played again, which means that we're not going to get Hanzo against immortal damage. Li Ming is up, Vala is up, Jimmy is up. Could still go Greymane, obviously. And I'm all here for a bit of Greymane action. I would not mind Greymane at all. That would actually be a fun one. So let's see if we're going to get the doggy. Or what. Especially since Li Ming is now banned too. So they ban Li Ming. That makes Greymane even more likely. You could go Bambi, there's Cassia still around, so there's still a couple of tools that you can use if you want to go for the Immortal, and then obviously you can always just start and say, hey, you know what, we're not really going for immediate Immortal damage. Instead what we're going to do is we're just moving in and we're taking the opponent's team out and do our play like that. There's always a couple of here. I mean, we've seen Suljin, we've seen Kel'Thuzad here. Also, Tracer isn't banned, which means that Tracer is actually an option now for Khaldor. I talked about this a bit earlier, that he really plays her a lot currently for the team, and he has played her in Battlefield of Eternity too. With them banning Sergeant Hammer out, that becomes now a possible weapon for him. Captain Rex with Sylvanas. Okay. And Diablo from Johan. So that gets us our next double pick. Okay. What are we getting? What's the weapon of choice against the Immortal? What's the damage dealer? Is Khaldor going for Tracer? Because if not, they might actually ban her if he doesn't take a single any pick yet. They go Vala. I love it. I love it. I like Vala. Vala is awesome. I like the quest stacks of her, and you can always like see, okay, how do people adjust towards the late game? How good is their early game stacking? Is that really something that, you know, carries on and allows them to scale and get momentum? So they get Vala. You could still ban out Uther here. If you're a little bit worried that your opponent is going into a double support play with Vala auto attack style instead of an arrow build, which is possible here, then Uther as a main tank might be an option. But instead they're just banning out a second support. So they're just saying, alright, we just ban out a clear support. If they want to go into Uther, they can. Unless obviously... Wait, was Uther played? No, I'm missing a series. Today games went so well. I was actually quite surprised. No, Uther was not played yet. But yeah, today we had like game after game after game, so they just blend together a little bit. I'm not really used to that. Normally there's always some delays, there's always something happening, a player doesn't show up on time, people are dropping or just a bit late. And today it was just like snappy. One lobby after another was glorious. So Uther can now be picked from the red team if they want to deny the Uther main tank as a potential. But yeah. If not, then Uther main tank is an option for Krankle. Now, you expect Nano to be on a damage dealer though. And I don't think Khaldor is switching this over, so it's a bit more likely that they're gonna play this with 2 damage dealers here. Cassia, Anduin. Don't really think that it's gonna be an auto attack style, but yeah. Anyways, our double pick here. And also, Nano could still play his Medivh here. If they want to have Lucio plus an additional shield, if you don't want to go full double support, that's another option that you have. So, Nano could technically do that. I think we've seen it in the 4th qualifier. I believe he played it there, yes. But, again, time will tell. So, for now, we get ETC and we get Chromie. So, it's the second damage dealer. ETC is nice with the power slide and his space control around immortal stuns, so that can be quite neat. Soaking for the side lane. What are we getting from him? The final pick for map number 2. The Cats, obviously, again, they would love to go to game number 3 at least. Win 2 in a row now. Move on to the winner bracket final. That would be a big step. If they lose here, they're not out of the tournament. They drop into the losers bracket and still have a shot at making their lower bracket run. And they go for the Panda. So Soaking with the Panda. Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 2. Let's go. The Raiders on the left in blue with a 1-0 lead. They have match point. We get Krankle on ETC, Sven on Urel, Nano with Chromie, Gavlo playing Vala. Choice on level 1 is going to be interesting. They can still play. It's supposed to be arrow build, but we'll see. Hunter Orc with Lucio, and over on the right side of the map, the red team trying to win 2 in a row now with Captain Rex on Sylvanas. We got Herath on Cassia, going into stacks with Thunderstroke, trying to get the Lightning Fury up here. As we get Deviant on Anduin, Soaking on Chen, and Johan on Diablo. So, let the party begin. Arrow build for Vala, going for the Immortal Hunt and trying to get the stacks together here in the early stage. Missing the first one. Already not a good start. Already off to a bad start. YOLOs the arrow out and he misses right away. Sad times. But at least the multi-shot connects. It's a little bit harder to miss that one. So, multi-shot hits hard. Now it's just up to the arrows again. ETC already sliding in, trying to... And did you just miss the second one as well? Did I see that correctly? Gavlo. That's not a good start with stacks. Dodging everything here. Yeah, if you dodge your early game stacks on Vala, then you are making your own life so much easier because the Immortal is going to survive a few more seconds. Might allow you to get it for yourself. But Herath is, of course, in the same situation. He needs to also stack and continue all of that. So this is exactly what we're seeing from him, trying to poke them out as best as he can. And talking about poke, you have Chromie behind all of it, with Doral Anomaly once again. And Nano is also utilizing all of this to just control the space around the camp. Gets that easily, and there it is. They lock it in, no problem whatsoever. Urel even moved down for it. So they could have forced a 5 versus 4 here if the Cats really wanted to fight this. Chen was still up at the top lane, had to take the minion wave out. So Urel timed it perfectly around the top lane pressure. And now we're having in the bot lane another slide and another stack. So Vala is now sitting at 3. Nice damage here too. Talking about Vala, Gavlo. Yeah, he's really towing the line here, doesn't he? Pretty close, my friend. So, yeah. The Cats, they are still trying to recover, stabilize, make sure that they are playing this properly. Yeah, nice stun, and Cassia is down. I was just about to compliment her for her stack amount that she has, sitting at 13, which is definitely a decent start for her. But then she gets pulled into the corner and dies. So by now we got the repeating arrow for Vala. Makes it a little bit easier to get those arrow stacks together depending on how aggressive Gavlo wants to be with his vault. The problem for Vala, obviously, at this point in the game is also that she oftentimes is going to suffer from a lack of mana. If you're really trying to just get repeating arrows out and you're using Vault for that, then you are running out of mana pretty quickly. And they are getting this here fairly easily, but it costs her a decent chunk. She gets some back, at least from the health globe, but it's something to really keep in mind when we're talking about her approach here. Whereas Cassia is now sitting at 13, didn't really have any opportunities anymore since she got killed, and now the Immortal is obviously coming up, so the real fight is starting. And this is where we're gonna get into the meat of things. And the red team has taken a defensive position, is still trying to push Sven out from the top. So they're essentially driven a wedge between the other team. But there's good damage against Diablo, really good damage against Diablo. And also nice stacks, of course. That allowed Gavlo to pick up 2 more stacks. And we all know what happens if Vala is able to properly stack into the late game. She is going to really crush it. Another one connects, good damage there too. Yeah, Vala is properly stacked. She can easily win essentially every one-on-one. The damage output is getting absurd at some point, always assuming there's nobody else or nothing else around to soak any of the arrow shots. But even without the level 7 talent for her, she's doing work on the Immortal. Once that Monster Hunter is in, I mean, yeah, she's single-handedly going to rip that thing to shreds. So, as is, it's already a big win for them. And if the red team doesn't soon come in here, then it's going to be a mad problem Another 2 stacks connected, and that allows to get damage out against Cassia, who then gets killed. So Cassia is gone. Immortal still getting wrecked, and they are trying to stop the bleeding a little bit by going for the Immortal shield, but they can't even do that. Soaking is also about to die. The Panda is gone, and Vala used him also to get 2 more stacks for herself. Talking about a good start into the game, the Cats, they definitely are not having one. Now we get Monster Hunter ready, we get the attack at the top, 3 kills to 0, that's level 7 in their hands, the leading experience, the leading talents, and decent stacking for Vala, which really helps them here. So if Vala is able to just keep this up, then the next few Immortals are going to be an absolute shit show from the perspective of the Cats. Because Vala is single-handedly going to rip this thing apart. Now she has 14 stacks now, it's nothing insane yet, but it's really steady progress. And it's all just a question of whether she can keep that up, yes or no. And there's already a few more targets. So she gets 1, sitting at 15 right now, and after breaking through the wall, they now made also short... Yeah, they're actually nearly getting the entire thing, don't they? So yeah, got close at least. It's nearly the entire fort gone, with just the first Immortal. And we haven't seen a single kill yet for the Cats. So that's the next problem. But yeah, down at the bottom of the map, still, Urel doing her thing there. And all the way up at the top, another hit, another arrow, another vault, another arrow, 18 stacks. Trying to go for Diablo, he eats the damage from Chromie and dies. No chance, that's kill number 4. Vala connects another one, she's getting close to 20 now, and we're only 5-6 minutes into the game. I have to give some credit also to Cassia on the other hand, because she's sitting at 31 stacks, and that is actually pretty good for a 6-minute game. So, a pretty neat approach from her. The red team is still struggling to get any kind of foothold here though, and while they have their heroes up at the top lane, it means that Urel has all the freedom in the world at the bottom of the map to go for the fort, and she is already doing good damage there. So she's stopping even the minion wave now, so that her own minions can do more work at the keep or at the fort. So the entire situation is starting to go south for the Cats. It's really slipping out of their control. Vala's at 23 stacks now. Cassia is also stacking extremely nicely. I'm usually always saying that around the 8-minute mark you want to have 40 stacks. If you get that, then you're on a decent path. But she's now 6.5 minutes at 38, so Cassia is doing great on this. She's also scaling very nicely, but they don't have level 10 talents yet, which allow the raiders to go straight for the fort and take it down. And with Vala stacking, it of course not only means that you're getting more damage in against heroes, but more importantly, if you have Monster Hunter, you can chunk this thing down so quickly. And now look how quickly he loses hit points here. Garflo with a double arrow is getting that destroyed within seconds. Now to be fair to the Cats, they're also all in position just in time, and they barely lose out on the halftime show, but they're still 2,000 hit points behind, I'd say. And yeah, the blue team is now starting to just poke this out, and they gotta defend, and I don't think they will because they don't have level 10. So they just get it, but it's a little bit too late. Vala has already done the worst, and Chromie has helped her. So Apocalypse is now in, but I seriously doubt that they can stop this without losing at least one fort. The top fort is already gone again. The bottom fort is going to be in trouble. Mosh pit interrupted right away. Not a holy cow over here. Soaking eats a few more shots. Yeah, they're easily moving away from this, but the bottom fort will fall. The shield is strong enough, and so is the Immortal. There's no gate, there's nothing else that they have, so yeah, this one is going to be taken out. And they're still playing against Soaking, trying to farm the Panda. If he gets a power slide, he might still die. Okay, he got out. I was actually thinking that Urel might be able to get on him. Diablo also rather low. 27 stacks now for Vala. Lucio is of course another issue. Lucio is just sliding around the entire time and makes things easy for them. They're rotating from one lane to another without really getting punished for this, so the timings are fantastic. And there's still not a single kill for the Cats. 4 kills to 0 right now. Vala sitting at 30,000 damage. 30,000 against 18,000 from Cassia. That's where we're at right now. So Garflo is having fun. He's having a good time here, for sure. And this is only going to continue. They are ahead in experience. It's nearly an entire level that they're in the lead. So early level 13, definitely in the cards for them. And Dibbles, after dying, he needs to restack. He's at 63 souls right now. And of course, the arrow at the top still being utilized, making sure that they're getting another camp here. So the control of the map really goes to the blue team. They have 2 forts destroyed, they have the camps taken, and they have now a lead in talents, at least in just a second. Currently, they don't have it just yet, but I don't think that we're going to see the fight before that happens. Ah, well, maybe. We see Diablo here. They make a move for him. Yeah, a few more shots. But he has to get out. And they're trying to, I guess, break through the wall a little bit if they can. Could use that extra talent. If they're willing to stick this out down here and poke with Chromie, for example, they could maybe take the gate out. But the Immortal is spawning. They still have their own camp to take, which is exactly what they're doing. We have Gloom now on Vala's side. Same now with the timeout for Chromie, so both of them with a bit more of a defensive talent on 13, just to make sure that they can survive through some of the more burstier damage that we're getting on the other side. There's always the Sylvanas factor, of course. If you win an objective at some point and then use Sylvanas to just brush through your opponent's structures, that's always a huge win. So they're going to try and look for that. But while that is not a thing yet, it could become one if they win an objective. For that, they have to first win an Immortal. They're closing on level 13. Sylvanas has that all up at the top. Yeah, Vala is now also trying to defend there. But they need a little bit more. They need one of the side laners. Dibbles is already in. Vala can, of course, always supply multi-shots. So that's one thing. There is a big camp at the bottom of the map too, so it's not the only Shaman camp that's up on the map, and they defeat it quickly. But there's a catapult down here escorting this one in, and the red team is making absolutely 0 moves to defend this. So they're losing the gate, very likely. They're trying to go for the Immortal instead and deal with it during the halftime show. But I'm not sure if they're going to get there in time, because this is a decent amount of damage. Halftime show is there, tower's gone, gate is gone, and now they might lose tower number 2. And the fight is not really letting up. They are trying to jump in now. They got level 13 and they're attempting to force the issue with APOC, and it gets denied completely. Apocalypse just zoned them away, but it did not lock anybody in place. They couldn't follow up with a kill. Still no kill for the Cats. And here we have the Raiders making their move forward. Light bomb, blah, finally. Lucio is gone. Light bomb engage is ready. Another rain of vengeance. Vala still stacking. She's at 35 now. Yeah, she's going to become a monster as this continues. Vala has, 45 stacks on Cassia, 35 to Vala. So, yeah. And she's getting another 2 quickly. She's actually focusing more. Jesus Christ. They're taking down Cassia, and there's just no winning this anymore. They can maybe win the objective, but boy, this is a 1.5 level gap between the two teams. They had Lucio eliminated and then lose Cassia. Like, this is their top damage dealer in the game. And now they're being forced back once more, and every approach forward is being used by Vala to either get damage in against the Immortal or get a few more stacks, which will help her to do the exact same thing as it continues. So you have sitting at 38 now, trying to get more auto attacks in also against Captain Rax. Sylvanas is immediately regretting every decision that she made to get into that spot and moves back out with another wave. The arrows, they still keep connecting, and they're poking with Chromie too. It's not only Vala here. I mean, we're talking about her because of the stacks, but Chromie is just firing away from a distance time and time again, and Nano is doing so much work here. Nano's sitting at 38,000 damage, so it's not like Vala is the only damage dealer that they have. They just have to be so careful because the poke is coming from all directions, essentially. The objective, now that they take position and drive them a bit away, might still be claimed by the Cats. But even if it does, if it has a low shield, it's going to be difficult to get a lot done with it, simply because the 2 damage dealers will eliminate it quickly. Captain Rax eats a lot of damage here too. Vala is moving in again. Johan pushed into the corner and goes down. Chen is winning the Immortal for them on the other hand. Barely. Barely. With 1,000 hit points on the shield. And with now 42 stacks on Vala, nearly as much as we have stacks on Cassia, that's gonna be problematic. Vala is gonna burn that Immortal down. And if they now kill Chen too, I mean, that would be the dream. But instead it's... Oh, that changes things a little bit. ETC getting killed here. Okay. Maybe now an opportunity. That could change things. Now it's a 5 versus 4, and you have a Sylvanas push going. Alright, you might not have level 16 talents, but that changes things for sure. So a few more hits are coming, but that annihilates the fort. And that was all thanks to Sylvanas and them being able to take ETC down. A few more hits are coming in. Gets 1, gets 2. I mean, Gaflo is just like so crazy about getting those numbers high. It's like nuts. Moves out time and time again. Obviously, the red team would love to take a second fort out. That's why they are poking at the top. But ETC is going to be back in a moment. 53 stacks to 45. Yeah, 31,000 damage for Cassia. 54,000 for Vala now. Crazy. Anduin, with level 16, he's going to get the double pull now. So this is a huge power spike for the red team too. They're not quite out of this yet. They have lost a lot of ground, for sure. And again, the scaling of the heroes on the blue team side that's something that should concern them at least a bit. But this is not too shabby. And now that we also have, in addition to all, I'm actually a little bit wondering what exactly Vala is going to take on level 20. Acrobat, or are we going to get Farflight Quiver to try and poke against Diablo from a safer distance? Is she worried about Diablo and or Chen in any way, shape or form? Or does she say like, yeah, those two are not going to be able to control me. I can go Acrobat and just go absolutely bananas on those arrows. Because the mana pool is now a lot easier for her to handle. And yeah, time will tell, I suppose. I guess we're going to get to level 20. Next objective is soon going to get announced here. But yeah, everybody is getting ready for this. And we get the camps claimed again. Alright. This could be a wild one. This next objective could be super interesting. Even talents, right from the start, no advantage, nothing that has to be bridged. Chromie gets her stuck in a loop. And that's gonna be pretty neat. But yeah. Now it's a bit of a moment of truth. And I like that the red team is going for the Shaman Camp immediately. So they're trying to defeat it before the Immortals even on the map so that they don't run into any problems at the bot lane. The same has now happened by their opponents. So the Shaman Camps are non-factor at this point in time. So let's have a little bit of a look also at the damage numbers during the fight. 54,000 for Vala now, 42,000 for Chromie. Let's see how much they are going to be able to get up with this. Cassia has been killed 3 times. I mean, she's been one of the prime targets for the Raiders. And they're already looking for another position there. Urel was down at the bottom, Diablo at the front, and Vala is starting to get attacked by Chen. Chen wants to have the attack there. Okay, multi-shot. Could get some cooldowns back. It's trying to lock the target down also with the Rain of Vengeance. That at least did not work out. But Soaking is still low. Soaking is low, but look at that light bomb. And they get Lucio again. I like it. The cats. The cats with a lot of action. But oh, the mosh pit, baby! What an amazing mosh for them. 3 heroes killed as a result. But they lose ETC and they lose Vala. So the counter kills are coming. But damn, that mosh pit still, it could have been so much worse without it. Check that one out. The slide and he catches 3 heroes. Now, really nice reaction, obviously, from the cats getting their kills too. But without the mosh pit, it would have been an utter disaster. Half-time shown victory still for the cats here. But yeah, that was a big play from ETC. Good shit. Vala dying for the first time. 47 stacks now. And Cassia is sitting at cushy 60. So yeah, our girl is doing damage too. Herath, he is starting to crush them a bit as well. Vala 10 seconds. She is still the main damage against the Immortal. And here comes level 20. So we have the talent advantage. And it is Acrobat. With Acrobat, yeah. I mean, she's still going to be very close to the action, so she doesn't get the distance that Farflight Quiver would give her. That's usually something you see more with the auto attack style. She's not really afraid of anything here. But now, if she gets onto the Immortal, she's just going to tumble around it and, yeah, deal with this. Like, look at this. Arrow after arrow and just, like, chunking it down. Absolutely chunking it. The 2 of them are easily going to take it, as the rest of the team down here is just trying to keep the red team away from the Immortal as long as they can. But Vala has absolutely no problem with this anymore. With this many stacks on her vault, she can get the arrows out, no problem. And her level 1 is, yeah, padded to no end. So these fights are going to be super interesting from here on out. As long as Gavlo doesn't die, they're gonna have the numbers. I mean, he's coming in here, even using it on the minion wave, but the blue team, or the red team, is gonna try and use Chen again to jump on her, get her maybe kecked up, because she is becoming the main problem for them. Chromie is annoying enough as is, but then if you have to also deal with this, it's just rough. So here we go. The attack towards the first keep. They should be able to get this. Shots from Chromie from a distance. Vala still trying to keep her hatred stacks up so that she has a little bit more momentum, and that keep is just, they're just letting it go. Keep is let go. There's nothing you can do about this, and now they're starting to push this a bit forward. Maybe even trying to get some damage in on the core. Still looking for a kill here. Yeah, arrow, at least one of them connects. There's another one available, and here comes Chen. Chen is looking for it, and he doesn't find the kill. He doesn't find the angle. He doesn't get Vala. He was the entire time waiting for an opportunity. It didn't present itself, and when it did, Lucio saved the day, Gavlo paid attention, and they all just simply moved out of fight range. So now with 50 stacks, she can easily take the camp up at the top. No problem. Claims it. Can hearth back if she needs to for mana. Probably still has a cooldown ready at the fountain. And can then join the rest of the team at the bottom of the map. Now, the saving grace for the cats is that they have their own level 20. So now we got Sensha in. We also got the Purifying Brew, Hellgate, plus Bolt of the Storm. And the next team fight is gonna pop up soonish. Top side, yeah, Lucio, very far at the front. Here's Apoc. Okay, Vala getting the stacks once again. Hits 1, hits 2, goes on number 3, but Lucio is starting to become a liability in these fights. This is the 3rd time now that they killed him right at the start of the battle. And yeah, it's a thing. So, Unstoppable already used, Soaking is still being pulled in. Can they get the kill? Nah, they can't, but Urel, she's fallen. They will have to send somebody back on the other hand. Because this is still a bit of a nuisance. Catapult is going to be griefing as usual. Then again, they got Sylvanas. So yeah, to be fair, with Sylvanas, a different story. You have a 5 versus 3 right now. So there's a big chance now to make some sick plays. So Vala is getting the arrows out, but honestly, this might be the moment where they just say, okay, we go core. ETC slides back, they're trying to buy time. But yep, they're going to try and go for the core here. Because they're losing ground on the right side. Keep in mind, there's still minions and catapults on the core, so this is going to be a bit of a race. Vala and particularly Chromie, they're just trying to bully Chen here. But both of the cores are falling. It's going to be a race. Minions against heroes. The heroes have it right now. Sylvanas is still alive. Lucio's coming in. 60%. This is getting nuts, and Vala is gone. They're taking it. Vala is gone. There's the mosh pit, catapults, and it's going to be a victory for the cats. They take it. The cats come in and just sneak the victory away from the Raiders. GG. Game number 3. The Sylvanas push worked towards the end of game number 2, and yeah, kudos to the cats. So they forced the 3rd map. After Vala got, I don't know how many stacks, I honestly didn't think they would be able to pull it off. Vala had towards the end 80,000 damage, Chromie had 70,000, and the highest damage dealer on the red team's side at the time was Cassia with 50. So the damage difference was just gigantic. But it was really well done. They got 2 kills, they saw an opportunity and they said, okay guys, it's now or never, let's go and take them down. And once they defeated Vala on the core push, it was essentially over. So they were able to kill her, and there were just not enough heroes around to defeat it. Sylvanas playing a big role with this, her in the first place enabling them to just break through the keep the way that they did. And now we're heading into our final map in this best of 3 series, here at the semi-final of the winner bracket, to see which team moves on to the grand final and then goes up against the Bratwurst boys. Cho'Gath is banned again. Now, once more, quick reminder, we have one draft rule in this tournament, and that is that you cannot pick the same hero more than once within a series. So every hero can only be played once. Once a hero has been played in a game, he cannot be played again. Limits your options a little bit when we're talking about map number 3 and 4, but honestly we have 90 heroes in the pool, so it's not really that big of a deal. Makes it so that the it's not getting too boring, right? You're not always just going to see Genji, Hanzo and whatnot blaze on the side lane. So there's a bit of variety, and you can still go for normal comps. But it has led to teams occasionally saying, alright, fair enough, with now 20 heroes being unavailable, we can actually bust out a couple of heroes we normally wouldn't play, because, let's say, some of the mobility creep that we had over the last couple of years gone. Actually, the last couple of years, what am I saying? The last couple of years we didn't have anything creeping in, because there was nothing new released. But yeah, before, you know what I'm talking about. Sergeant Hammer's the first pick. I mean, that's a statement to be made already. When Infernal Shrines, and they're like, alright, it's Hammer time. They go for the Sergeant, don't want to risk it, A, being picked away, and B, being banned out. In addition, we're now getting Stukov for the red team, and there is Greymane. Might be something that they're swapping over again. I don't know if Captain Rex is really going to play this here. I actually kind of doubt it. I suppose it's going to be Herath that is going to take that hero, but time will tell. The double pick for the blue team though before we're heading into the next ban phase. So let's see what the weapon of choice is right now for them. Because now they need to shield Sergeant Hammer. They choose Muradin for survivability, and I was about to say Deckard Cain for a bit more zone control would probably be a good choice. Also helps a lot with the potions, but you can slow the opponent down. You have to stay on while and listen. Could, depending on picks, also go for the Lul Nado and just lure them away here. And they still don't want Gavlo to get his Tracer. They are still trying to shut this down. I'm just saying, like, yeah, no Tracer, no thank you. We're not gonna do any of that. At least not here. So, what is Gavlo gonna do? Would have been nice to see him Tracer again. He's one of the few that is now just pretty much regularly picking Tracer whenever he has a chance to, and it's honestly quite entertaining. Tracer can be pretty fun to watch. Don't want to play against her, don't get me wrong. She's annoying, but yeah. Not annoying as some other heroes, though. Like, high up on my hate list to play against is probably Chromie and Samuro. They're very high up there. Even Murky. There's so many heroes that are just annoying. Like, even when they're... It's like, there's heroes out there that even when you win the game, you feel that you've lost. Just because it was just so annoying to play the game. And some of those are definitely up there. But yeah, either way. The double pick, we get Leo, we get a Nuburak, so you still can make those Entomb plays. And as we said in the past, if you go Entomb plus Lurking Arm, that's a poor man's Wailing Arrow. Sylvanas has already been played once, so she can't be played again, but you can go for that combo and try and shut down somebody down here. And a Nuburak for the dive against Sergeant Hammer, and Cocoon obviously also works well. But again, all eyes on Gavlo right now. What is he gonna choose? What's he picking here? What's the weapon next to Sergeant Hammer? Samuro and Thrall! Alright! I could have seen Soaking pick Samuro, I decided against it, so we get Samuro and Thrall. We're going full smog on the last double pick. Yeah, Sundering, you can keep them away from Sergeant Hammer, can set up a few more stuns as well. And then Samuro can go for side lane pressure. Alright. So, Herath as our final pick on Infernal Shrines. And, well, this is for all the marbles, everybody. This is the final map, and they go for the Witch Doctor Nazebo, everybody. Infernal Shrines, map number 3. Let's go. And we're off to the races. Game number 3, the final map in the series, as we are starting to go the distance in the series. Not on Sergeant Hammer for the blue team. We have Krankle on Muradin, Sven with Samuro, Gavlo is playing Thrall, and we have Hunter Orc on Deckard Cain. On the right side of the map, the Cats with Captain Rex on Greymane. We got Herath on Nazebo, Soaking on Leoric, Deviant on Stukov, and Johan with Nuburak. So, it's going to be interesting. We're going to keep our eye on the Nazebo and also the stack progress on the baseline to see if Vital Infection becomes an option as the game continues. And Nuburak also kicking things off with the Regeneration Master here, so deviating away a bit from what we normally see from him. Trying to get that extra hit point pool here. And it's going to be a fun one. It's really going to be entertaining to see how this one is going to play out, particularly since they picked Nazebo. Nazebo can be pretty crazy. He's going for a spider build and not for a toad build. And I just want to see what's going on with his stacks, if he can make it to a point where Vital Infection becomes an actual option for them or not. I mean, if you're trying to just take structures down and go for that, then toads are obviously way, way better than this. But if you are looking to get in damage against isolated heroes, it can quite be kind of nice to go for spiders. Against Nano, it can also be a nice tool. If you can set a zombie wall up like this and then follow it up with spiders, that's always decent damage. And again, Nano is fairly stationary, makes it a lot easier to hit spiders properly and then get all the damage out. So this is a bit of a play against that. And we'll see how well it works for them. Now, at the beginning, with the 1 minute mark coming through, of course, it means that we are now again looking at camps to be taken. So, all the way up at the top, we still have the one-on-one going on, and down at the bottom of the map, we have, yeah, still some control being taken by Sergeant Hammer. The mobility is still missing until level 7. But, yeah. So, either way, this is going to be for all the marbles. The winner moves on to face off against the Bratwurst boys in the grand final. Sorry, the winner bracket final. Grand final is going to be on the second day of the qualifier. Not jumping ahead here too much. Anubarak eats the Stormbolt. The good thing when Anubarak gets hit by the Stormbolt is that there's nothing you can ruin there. If Anduin, for example, eats it full face, then at least he needs to have a new dentist appointment. Anubarak is already so insanely ugly and just like a thing that it doesn't really make a difference anymore. I mean, nobody is going to recognize it. Nobody's going to notice it even. Not even Anubarak's mom. Does Anubarak have a mom? I don't even know how that works. Is there some lore there? Who cares? Greymane is gone, so that's the first blood in the game. Blue team is setting this up and take Khaldor down at the top, as the Witch Doctor down at the bot lane is still doing this thing. Alright, so pushing this back slightly. We're now getting Reverberation. We're getting Siege Tactics, as you would expect, and Khaldor is starting to stack it up with Thrall, but yeah, taking Greymane out here was obviously a pretty nice first step. In addition, Big Voodoo, so trying to boost the passive even further. Neil Peasants is in, particularly fancy when you're going into the shrine and you're trying to get all of that wave clear in. And as the shrine spawns, talking about it, we only have a single team that is going for the camp, and Khaldor, that would be a bit late if you wanted to start it up now. Greymane has already taken that, and while Captain Rex might need a bit of a heal boost, he's going to be fine here for now. We're talking about a shrine in the mid lane, Arcane Punisher this time around. And yeah, we're off to the races. So, right now, the party, ladies and gentlemen. Nazeebo most likely going to deal with Sergeant Hammer, as I said. He's getting those hits in. He's already sitting at 82 stacks, by the way, on his level 1. So he can easily pull it off. As long as Hammer doesn't even have any mobility, now level 7 kicks in and there's at least some. But it's still going to be fairly easy for Nazeebo to make his moves here. Now they're going for Soaking, and Leoki. Oh, is that a kill? Yeah, he might still fall. Soaking is a bit low, but he's also getting away from this. So still able to survive through it, as Sergeant Hammer is taking full control over the shrine. And yeah, Thrall is also getting his stacks on his level 4. He's now 3 in, 3 deep. As Herath is stacking it up also against some of the illusions, and that's a completed level 1 quest. 42 stacks only on the baseline, and he gets even killed. So yeah, Nazeebo is down, 2 kills to 0, and that's a pretty sweet start for the Raiders. This shrine is essentially uncontested, and now they can push in with Sergeant Hammer and do their thing in the middle. So yeah, let's have a look. Because right now, Hammer is already firing away. They're going to bait the Punisher over, of course, but we already have Crankle starting to move in from the side, trying to see if you can throw them off a little bit, land the Stormbolt or 2 and slow them down. But this is going to be neat damage. Sergeant Hammer breaking through that gate without any problems. Punisher is taken out, but they're getting damage in against the 4 too. And they're not even here in a 5-man, because down at the bottom of the map we have Samuro doing essentially the exact same thing. So they are pressuring at multiple points on the map, exactly as they should, using Sven as an additional pressure point on the macro level. And Sven Samuro is solid. I mean, again, he's been banned out several times in the past because of that. Now they're even going for Anubarak, and they get him. Nah, he got the shield just on the last moment. Nice body blocking also from here, I see. If Nazeebo didn't zone them out, they might have been able to get onto onto Anubarak for another Stormbolt or a clap. So not too bad. Soaking dies, activates his trade, so he's gone. Down at the bottom of the map, Sergeant Hammer easily firing away. So they're starting to control this properly, and they also have level 10, so already a chance to use those heroic abilities to maybe net themselves either a kill or just apply additional pressure on the structures. We have Napalm, great for sieging up on opponents and for the shrine. Stay a while and get wrecked from Deckard Cain. And on top of that, now the Illusion Master. And I assume that Thrall will go for Sundering again. Gavlo is trying to make things a little bit more exciting by holding the Talon back. But it's been a while since I've seen Earthquake. Okay, Muradin makes it out. Not even close, bro. But he gets out of the surround there. So good for him. Now, also noteworthy that Thrall has actually completed his quest. So in the last encounter in that shrine fight, he was able to finish that one off. So level 4 is now done, which means we have now mana management a little bit easier, the cooldown reduction is kicking in, and you can unfold the synergy with your level 20 if you want. Yeah, that Sundering went nowhere, bro. That hit nothing, absolutely nothing. And they want to punish him immediately, and they do. So Thrall is down. First the Sundering was crap, and then he got dropped. At least they got the fort at the bottom of the map, so that's something. But they're losing also Deckard Cain now, so that's Greymane ripping 2 of them apart. And that's also the first 2 kills for the cats. Oh, yeah. The Zebo with 66 stacks now. Yeah, well, 70. So he is getting there. Starting to do a bit more work with all of this. And level 11, you still need 100 stacks if you want to go via Infection. We'll see if he just adjusts and upgrades his Ravenous Spirit. But there's obviously still the option to soak up a few more of these minion waves and really work towards the late game with the hero. When we're just talking at the initial damage this early in the game, we have Sergeant Hammer with 20,000 in a pretty solid spot. 20k also from the Zebo. And the real big test is going to be the shrine that is about to activate at the top lane. That's when they can start to make a bit of a move here. So, yeah, top lane pressure is there. Soaking is ready. And, yep, in the meantime, Sergeant Hammer is a little bit slowed down here. So Nano is now moving topside, but the control of the shrine has already been taken by the cats. Well, in the sense that they got the Auric there, so they are starting to take the lead. Camp is still claimed. Are they not going for it? Seems a little bit more like they are just going for the fort in the middle and they just let that slide. If they don't make a move soon, then this is definitely gone. That's already 27 stacks. Yeah, they're way too late to the party. They're absolutely too late for this. They can't do anything about it anymore. So if anything, they should try and get some damage in here in the middle. Even that is maybe a bit late. Samuro is down at the bottom of the map. Heras again using Sergeant Hammer for some extra damage time and time again. Can't really miss the spiders in that case. Samuro will be dealt with by Leoric, and topside, this is where they now have to defend, but they should be able to bait it over. The problem is that the wall is already gone, or at least most of it. But Sergeant Hammer is ready and they can start to take it down quickly. So they're not losing a fort here. Well, they might. Depends a little bit on how they are defending Sergeant Hammer here. But they're taking more damage on the fort than expected. There's the stun. A nice follow-up from Stukov, but not enough. Sundering this time actually hit something. So good for them. Sundering is starting to hit shit. And now they want to go for a kill on a Nubarak, but they're easily moving away from this. And if anything, they should probably be more worried about saving their fort, which they've now done. But we still have Sven going up against Soaking here in the middle. It's a little bit of a wild game right now. 3 kills to 2. Not really too many crazy things happening at this point. Samuro is moving out. They're still trying to take the control up at the top. Very nice follow-ups from Stukov, but not enough to deal enough damage to Thrall. So instead of him dying, it's a Nubarak that goes down. They want Stukov and they get him. Lasered into the ground by Thrall and his Trash Lightning. So, this allows for another push at the top. And again, this is the big trait here. Every time it seems that the blue team is just so much more successful when it comes to structural damage. And it also reflects in the lead and experience they're taking. They're 3 kills ahead, they're 1 level ahead, they have taken 2 forts out, the one in the mid lane is low. So they, again, take control of the game. Really nice control there. And yeah, this is a chance to maybe go for full control, get level 16, get a bit of a snowball going around the next one. So yeah, definitely. There's definitely a couple of options. Now Heroes up at the top, he's still working on his stacks, but we have 14, 15 levels into the game and he's still at 104. It becomes less and less likely that we're going to see Violent Infection. The stacking initially just wasn't good enough. If he is able or willing to wait a bit on level 20, then I think it's still going to be fine. But given the pace, I would assume that he is going to fall just a bit short once that he hits the Storm Talent. And we have the level 16 advantage now for the Raiders. It's going to be quite helpful, not only for this push. There's the synergy with Alpha Wolf 16 and the pack on level 4. So he's going to benefit from the cooldown reduction now further. And here we are. The fort destroyed. Goodbye. 16 is in. All the forts are gone. And at least Leo is getting some value at the top and is able to take one down as well. Now, the problem is they're actually going for him now. So, Soaking is going to try and escape here. They might sniff him out in that corner. Yeah, Samuro doesn't really know where he is. Doesn't want to chase him down completely. So he's able to hearth away. Good move by him. If he would have just tried to walk away from this towards the right side of the map, he would have died for sure. But so far, so good. Now, they are attempting to steal the camp away, but both teams are now in 16. Greymane isn't here. Good control. Stukov with the same. Stay a while. Get wrecked. And they go for Nazebo. Sundering, everything unleashed on the Witch Doctor. Goes for his ice block. The big slap is still coming. And Herath gets killed by Deckard Cain, the old man. Hit him with the stick, baby. Yep. He is still feisty for his age. 6 kills to 2, and obviously now the shrine is active, so yeah, it's a little bit of a rough one. Nazebo is gone, that means that he also can't stack in the meantime. It's annoying. They are trying to go for Thrall though, and they might get him. Yeah, Cocoon is used, and that should be a kill. I don't think that anybody is going to come up there to help him out. It will be too late too. Well, actually, Deckard Cain is on his way, but still, there's no way. With a quick Stukov follow-up, it's just absolutely impossible. So they are apparently trying to trap them here. Can they go for a kill? I'm actually amazed that they're even willing to try it in the first place. But yes, they want it. They want Stukov, and they might be able to get him. Yeah, they're going to get him. If they continue like this, they're definitely going to get him. Mirrodin jumps in deep. That's Stukov gone. And now Greymane is the next one on the list. Gets ulted, and they instead chase Anubarak. Alright, so Greymane is able to escape. The Deckard Cain was pinging, and nobody cares what the old geezer has to say. Maybe they can catch Samuro. They can't quite decide who they want to kill here. Ice Block is already out. Now Anubarak with another stun. While all of this is happening, by the way, the Punisher is already marching through the bot lane. So it's not like that isn't the problem. Punisher is there and is already starting to take the gate out. With Sergeant Hammer getting entombed? They won't be able to do anything here. But it's quite funny. It's actually kind of funny. I think if they would have just gone for Greymane, they would have gotten the second kill there. And that would have helped them so much more. But now they are aiming for the keep, which I think essentially was also what the whole play was about. Get that keep, get further ahead. They have Samuro here, so they should be able to do some damage. But the Punisher is already gone. If they commit it, then they can still take it out. Sundering is already being used. Yeah, a little bit more napalm maybe and a few more hits. The keep is low, but it doesn't seem like they're willing to really siege up on it. Bit of a missed opportunity, to be fair. I think there's much more that they could have done. Get Greymane, immediately move down to the bot lane, and you're going to be in a much better spot. Mithril Maze for Leoric. Epicenter, of course, for our boy Anubarak. And just all in all, looking at the damage numbers, also 41,000 for Nazebo again. It's not too bad. It's not doing crazy on stacking, but his damage numbers are not too shabby. 47,000 from Sergeant Hammer. And they are getting to level 20 now. So I assume that we're going to see a move down to the bottom of the map in an attempt to take the keep down. They have more than a level of an advantage. There's a big window that they can take right now. And which they, of course, should take. So there's another Stormbolt. Nazebo might have to ice block this one. Mirrodin still playing around it too. And we get the Ultra Capacitors for Sergeant Hammer. Plus also 3-bladed style and World Breaker. The cooldown reduction alone on that talent is ridiculous. So yeah, the keep's gone. Keep's gone. Can't do anything about this. They can move into the middle. Well, they're actually sieging for the core? Alright. I did not think we would see that. I expected them fully to fall back here. But they are willing to actually try and bait them in here. And see if they can get a kill. And if they can, then obviously that would change things quickly. So Nazebo at 150 stacks. He's getting closer and closer to the 176 that he needs. 175, so we're getting there. Maybe he's going for the Violent Infection after all. Given how they are pinned down and how he's now trying desperately at the top to get additional stacks together, we could see that power spike for sure. They're breaking through the middle. Experience, of course, for Nazeebo top side too, but here's another little approach from him. 163, 65. He's getting there. He's getting there. If he wants it, he's gonna get it. And Uberak! Oh boy! The ult from Deckard Cain! And it's enough to land them the kill. Cocoon being used. Level 20 any moment. Nazeebo is 6 stacks off from making the cut here, but they're losing the second keep. That's the big problem. Second keep is now gone, and with a Nubarak out of the picture, the blue team is willing to go for it. And again, Nazeebo is just barely away from it. Barely out of it. He needs 4 more. 4 more as they're going for the core. It's ridiculous. 2 heroes die and that's game. Nazeebo's never making it. He's never making it. He's so close. But he can't use anything to help them in that fight. 11 kills, 2-3. And ladies and gentlemen, the Raiders with a 2-1 victory against the Cats as they move on to the winner bracket final. GG.